Mercury retrograde is here, and this is what you should expect based on your rising sign, and all rising signs are included in this video. If you don't know me, my name's Lucy. I'm a professional astrologer, and if you're interested in personal updates based on the planetary transits, check out my Patreon, which is linked in my bio. Starting with Virgo rising, this Mercury retrograde is a big one for you. You are reflecting on your personal image. This is your fashion, your style, how you're presenting yourself to the world. You're thinking about if the way you're presenting yourself is authentic. Are you showing the real you? Spend some time alone connecting with your inner self, your true self, and don't listen to the voices of other people. It's really time for you to listen to yourself. Leo rising, during Mercury retrograde, you are reflecting on money and your values. So think about your financial habits. Have you been saving? What have you been spending on? Are the things that you're spending money on aligning with your values? Think about your financial goals. Are you where you want to be? And then make adjustments where it's needed so you can actually reach these goals. Cancer rising, like me, we are reflecting on our communication, our thought processes. We are thinking about how we can become clearer in our communication, how we can get our point across in the way that we want to. Think about your thought processes. Are they negative? Are they positive? Try to align your thoughts with the person that you want to become. Gemini rising, during this Mercury retrograde, you are reflecting on your home environment, your family, your childhood. It could be a time where old issues in your family might come up, but the purpose can be to resolve these so then you can move forward. Focus on your home environment and making it the best environment for you to be productive. That's another thing that you can focus on during this retrograde. And focusing on your emotions and your emotional expression, you are going to be connecting with this part of yourself. So then after the retrograde is over, you're going to feel more clear and able to articulate your emotions in a better way. Taurus rising, during this Mercury retrograde, you are going to be reflecting on your creativity, your self-expression, and also your romantic relationships. You might revisit creative projects or passions that you had in the past, maybe even from childhood, and this can be good for you to connect again with things that you were once passionate about. And what you can do is kind of revamp your relationship with these things, and maybe say when you were younger, you were super into pottery. Now this retrograde, you could start becoming interested in pottery again, but this time you revamp it, you make it better in some way. It's a good time to reflect on your romantic relationships as well, and you might hear from past lovers. So sometimes it's best to leave people in the past, but if there's something you want to maybe work out with somebody, it could be a good time to reconnect with people. But beware. Aries rising, during this Mercury retrograde, you are reflecting on your daily routines, your health and wellness routines, and your work. So it's a good time to think about what you do on a daily basis, make adjustments to things that need to be adjusted, make sure that you are living your healthiest life, and think about your relationship with work. Is it a positive relationship? Is it a negative relationship? Really think about this, and you can make adjustments. If, say, you feel like your work environment is negative, think about it. And then once this retrograde is over, it's a good time to make a decision on what you want to do to move forward. But really reflect on your daily life. Pisces rising, during this Mercury retrograde, you are reflecting on your relationships and partnerships. All types, but we're talking about one-on-one relationships. So with a romantic partner, with your friends, with a business partner. It's a good time to think about like if you're losing yourself in other people. Reflect on the patterns that you have in relationship. And if you feel like you have a negative pattern that is coming up in your relationships, think about that and make adjustments where needed. You might actually hear from ex-lovers, ex-friends during this retrograde, so be aware of that. Sometimes it's best to leave people in the past, but if you wanted to maybe work something out with somebody, reconcile, work through something, this could be a good time to do that. Aquarius rising, during this retrograde, you are reflecting on inner transformation, your thoughts on intimacy and on control and your emotions. This is a really kind of reflective internal transit for you. You're going to be really thinking about your relationship with control and intimacy. Have you been closing yourself off to closer relationships? Have you been trying to control things in your relationships, in your intimate relationships? Think about that, and think about maybe letting go of negative emotions that are holding you back. And this can be a time where you really start a journey of inner transformation, which can be really quite powerful. And after the retrograde is over, you should feel much lighter, like you've worked through things that needed to be worked through. Capricorn rising, during this retrograde, you are reflecting on your beliefs, your spirituality, your connection with the world, traveling. You might think about your connection with spirituality and how it's grown and changed. You might kind of connect with old beliefs that you had during this time. You might feel like you're kind of questioning your beliefs a bit, and it's a good time to actually explore new things or explore ideas that you maybe forgot about. The ninth house is also represents higher education, so beware if you are in school right now. Be careful about missing deadlines or anything like that. Little mishaps could come up. And also with the ninth house representing travel, if you are traveling, you could experience some delays these next couple weeks. Sagittarius rising, during this retrograde, you are reflecting on your public image and your career. Think about where you are in your career. Are you in a job that you like, that is aligned with your goals? If not, think about maybe where you'd want to be. And then after the retrograde is over, you can take steps to change careers maybe, or switch up the style of what you're doing something at your job. So maybe you've done something a certain way for a long time. Now it can be a time that you reflect and change how you do it so you're actually more effective. Make sure the image that you're putting out to the public is aligned with what you really truly value and what you want to be putting out there. Be careful of any miscommunications that might come up at work in your career the next couple weeks. Scorpio rising, during this retrograde, you are reflecting on your social circles, your friendships, and the communities that you're part of. Think about the people that you're surrounding yourself with and make sure that they are aligned with what your values are. Also think about your communities, the things that you were a part of, like your neighborhood is an example of a community that you could be a part of, or any group that you were a part of that shares certain values. Make sure that these communities are aligned with your goals still, and make sure that the level of effort you're putting in is the right amount of effort. So don't give away all your time to help other people, but make sure that you are contributing and helping to things that you care about. Libra rising, during this retrograde, you are reflecting on your spirituality, your connection to your inner self. This is going to be a very reflective couple weeks for you. Things from your subconscious are going to maybe come up, and this is for the purpose of you to work through them and let them go so you can heal. The 12th house is about healing. So it may be a time where you feel a bit lost, but after the retrograde is over, you should feel like a weight has been lifted off you. You should feel more in touch with your higher self. It's a great time for meditation. It's a great time for any spiritual practices or religious practices you might be into. It's a great time for that. And it's a great time for really just connecting with the inner you. So spend some time alone. You could really see some spiritual growth happening the next couple weeks. And of course, I have longer updates on my Patreon if you are interested in more information based on your personal chart. Check out the link in my bio.